Before the committee, please join us at the podium.
Good morning, Madam Chair and member.
All right.
Thank you first of all for the opportunity to present SB 1375 before you today.
Okay, that's item 10 in our
Item 10, and let me first start by accepting the committee amendments as authors' amendments in this analysis. SB 1375 would require all schools that receive federal funding to post on their website the name and contact information of their Title IX coordinator, the rights of a pupil and the public, and the responsibilities of the school under Title IX, and a description of how to file a complaint under Title IX. It additionally requires school districts to include this information in their annual parental notification packet. And lastly, it will require the state superintendent of public instruction to electronically send an annual letter to all schools informing them that they have the responsibilities which I've just articulated. I find it somewhat ironic to be here asking for these very basic requirements. Back in 2003 or 4, when I was in the Assembly, we tried to do similar legislation because Title IX has been the law of the land since 1972. Over 40 years, we have had these requirements to protect against discrimination in education on the basis of sex. And yet to this very day, there are many schools in California and throughout the country that don't even know this law exists. And this was confirmed last year in January. We held a hearing, and I know the chair was there and many other members were in attendance. The Senate Judiciary Committee held a hearing to better understand how our schools were addressing with the Title IX issue. And during that hearing, we heard from the United States Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights and the California Department of Education, both who testified that many schools and school districts are totally unaware of what is required of them in Title IX. One thing that struck me most was when we had a group of people come in from Berkeley who had had some serious issues on sexual harassment in their high schools, and they couldn't even identify, the school couldn't even identify who was their Title IX coordinator. Another school district came in, or family came in, and said that when they went to their Department of Education and asked who was the Title IX coordinator, no one knew until the superintendent came out and said, "Oh, I guess that must be me." It was astonishing. I think we were all absolutely mind blown by the fact that that just no one seems to have taken this very important law seriously for a number of years. And even where many people correctly correlate Title IX with gender equity and interscholastic activities in athletics, where we still have problems, but they recognize that Title IX does relate to that. Many are unaware that Title IX forbids discrimination on the basis of sex in any federally funded education program or activity. So the sciences, mathematics, any activity where federal funding is received prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex. And this includes sexual harassment, sexual violence on campus. And although state funding continues to be limited, the state cannot continue to allow students, their families, and the public to be uninformed about their federal equal protection rights that are afforded to them under Title IX. This measure, very modest, but it will still help to fulfill the intent of Title IX and ensure that students, their families, and the public are informed of their rights, reminding schools and school districts of their responsibilities under Title IX, and I would respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. In support of the bill, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Chair Liu and members of the committee and Senator Jackson for allowing me to speak today. My name is Kim Turner. I'm a staff attorney with the Legal Aid Society Employment Law Center, a 100-year-old nonprofit serving all of California and beyond. My project within the Employment Law Center, Fair Play for Girls in Sports, has worked for more than a decade to ensure schools follow Title IX, the 44-year-old law requiring equity in education, including athletic programming. Today, we support SB 1375, requiring federally funded schools in California to post the name and contact information of the school's Title IX coordinator, along with information about Title IX rights, responsibilities, and complaint procedures. My organization is part of the California Title IX Coalition, which is the California Center for Research on Women and Families, Equal Rights Advocates, AAUW California, the California Women's Law Center, and the ACLU of Southern California, a coalition working throughout California to ensure Title IX's compliance in order to provide discrimination-free educational environments for our students and school-wide communities. Based on our day in and day out work and experience with Title IX matters, we are acutely aware of the lack of information available to students, their families, and others in schools regarding Title IX rights and responsibilities. Simply put, students are not currently getting clear information about the designated Title IX coordinator and the processes to be followed to effectively bring a Title IX complaint. This glaring information gap hinders gender equity in education. We believe SB 1375 will further compliance with Title IX to the benefit of all. In 2014, the coalition piloted the Title IX compliance checklist to assess Title IX compliance in a handful of California communities. Checklist results revealed at the January 2015 California State Senate Judiciary Committee hearing and convened by Senator Jackson and others showed that the majority of high schools assessed did not publicize information about how to contact the Title IX coordinator, despite decades-long obligations to do so. And even when the coordinator's information was available, the process for raising inequity issues was far from straightforward. For example, at one high school, the community team assessing schools' Title IX compliance had to call 5 different phone numbers to locate the Title IX coordinator. And at another school, the human resources director did not know he was the Title IX coordinator. Similar Title IX informational and procedural gaps are reflected in the Equal Rights Advocates 2015 report, Ending Harassment Now, Keeping Our Kids Safe at School, revealing many schools have not necessarily designated a Title IX coordinator at all, as they must do under the law, and showing complaint processes are not properly functioning. The need for SB 1375 is great to ensure students, families, and school community members can readily identify, locate, and utilize key Title IX information and procedures. On behalf of the Legal Aid Society Employment Law Center, we support SB 1375 to ensure schools properly share Title IX information, to once and for all spur compliance, ensure Title IX protections are available, and help our students learn and thrive. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Hang on. I think I have a quorum. Let's take the roll.
Liu.
Here.
Liu here. Block. Hancock. Huff. Huff here. Leyva. Leyva here. Mendoza. Monning. Monning here. Pan. Vidak. Vidak here. 5. 6. Block here. 6.
Thank you. We have a quorum in support of the bill.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members. John Valencia here on behalf of the 12,000 members of the American Association of University Women. We support the information communication objective in 1375. Thank you.
Thank you. Any others in support of the bill? Please come forward.
ACLU of California in support of the bill.
Thank you.
Gregory Kramer on behalf of Planned Parenthood Affiliates of California in strong support.
Thank you. Any others in support of the bill? Any opposition to the bill? The committee didn't receive any opposition. Any comments or questions from members? As a former Title IX coordinator for my school district in the 70s, it's amazing this information hasn't been posted or that no one knows about it. It's been a long time. With that, thank you, Senator Monning. The bill has been moved.
This is item number 10, SB 1375. The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Lou? Aye. Lou, aye. Block? Aye. Block, aye. Hancock? Huff? Huff, aye. Leyva? Aye. Leyva, aye. Mendoza? Monning? Aye. Monning, aye. Pan? Aye. Pan, aye. Vidak? Aye. Vidak, aye.
You have 7 affirmatives, and we'll leave the roll open for our absent members. You have another item, item 12, SB 1435.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. And I thank you for the opportunity to present this bill today. First, I will happily accept the committee amendments in the analysis, and thank you for pointing out these issues to us. This measure would require the health framework for California public schools to include comprehensive information on the development of healthy relationships and be age and developmentally appropriate. I see this bill as a natural next step in our efforts to reduce incidents of sexual assault and harassment and bullying in our schools and colleges. This measure follows SB 967 from 2014, otherwise known as California's Yes Means Yes law, that provides a requirement that on our college campuses we teach the importance of respectful relationships, that there has to be affirmative consent when engaging in sexual conduct. We brought it down to the high school level in SB 695 last year, which requires all high schools that require a health course for graduation to include curriculum in sexual assault and harassment awareness and prevention. We now bring it down to the lower levels. Again, as we have researched, we started with the college level, discovered that if we start in college, we've actually started too late. If we start in high school, we've actually started too late, that we need to start at the earliest age possible, but in an age-appropriate way, to teach about healthy relationships, respecting others, the importance of empathy. These are basic fundamental things that our society is lacking or is losing in the 21st century world in which we live. So in order to help students develop the social and emotional skills to build healthy relationships with their peers, to help reduce incidences of sexual harassment, assault, and peer-to-peer violence, which continues to grow, additional efforts need to be made to provide age and developmentally appropriate learning opportunities in our elementary and middle schools. And I just want to give you a couple statistics to show how serious a problem this is. Research shows that about 1 in 3 teens in the United States, ages 14 to 20, have been victims of dating violence. And about the same number, 1 in 3, say they've actually committed relationship violence themselves. Nationwide, 12% of 9th through 12th grade girls have been physically forced to have sexual intercourse when they did not want to. 12%. And 22% of students have been the victims of physical abuse, sexual abuse, or threats of physical violence. We know that education and prevention are critical to combating these horrific numbers. And we have to drill down into the elementary school level and work to provide these proactive educational efforts. SB 1435 does this by helping provide educational resources that are, again, developmentally appropriate. I think that's critically important and appropriate here, to help our youth understand and learn to treat one another with respect and dignity and compassion and empathy. And with that, I would ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. In support of the bill.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Ron Rapp, speaking on behalf of the California Federation of Teachers. CFT believes that in order to help students to develop the social and emotional skills they need to build healthy relationships with their peers and to help reduce incidences of sexual harassment, assault, and peer-to-peer violence, additional efforts are needed to provide age and developmentally appropriate learning opportunities in elementary and middle school. SB 1435 1435 is a proactive approach to addressing these issues by providing instruction that is developmentally appropriate in an effort to help our youth understand and learn how to treat one another respectfully and with dignity. It is for these reasons that the CFT is in support of SB 1435 and respectfully requests your aye vote. Thank you.
Others in support?
Hi, Shannon Smith Crowley, representing the American Congress of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. Our letter got in too late for the analysis, but I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that we're in strong support of this bill.
Thank you.
And Enrique Roacho with the Los Angeles Unified School District, also in support by the reasons stated by Senator Jackson. We had a late support come in as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. Isabel Garcia with the California Teachers Association. We are recommending a strong support at our April 8th State Council of Education meeting coming up, and we appreciate the author for the bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any others in support?
Maya Ingram, ACLU of California, in support of the bill.
Thank you. Any others in support? Coming.
Good morning, Sydney Reyes with the California Partnership to End Domestic Violence, in support.
Thank you very much. Any opposition to the bill? The committee didn't receive any opposition. Any questions from members? Senator Leyva.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senator Jackson, I just wanted to thank you very much for bringing this bill forward. Last year I had SB 592, which died in appropriations. I really liked my bill. I love your bill, and will be a strong supporter. As we all know, young people don't always have a good example of a healthy relationship where they live, so I think this is terrific. Thank you for doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Senator Pan?
Thank you so very much. I, too, want to thank you, Senator Jackson, for bringing this bill forward. I realize that perhaps one of the impetuses for the bill is addressing some of the very difficult issues of sexual violence, bullying, and so forth. But also, we know that children who, at these ages, learn how to have healthy relationships, positive relationships. Not only is that a buffer against those issues, but also actually is going to improve their opportunities for success, not only avoid negative things like the criminal justice system, but also improve their opportunities for success in the future. And so I think this is a very important part of looking at what our educational curriculum should be about. It's more than just the ABC, the reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's also about how do you have positive relationships with the people you're working with and who you're studying with and so forth. So thank you very much for bringing this bill forward.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions from members? Is there a motion on this? Oh, would you like to close?
I appreciate the comments. I think this is the important missing part of this whole effort to really work with young people, to be assured in a world where we see so much violence, where we see, whether it's in video games or just the world around us, and it's so critically important that they get that balance, learn empathy, learn compassion, learn respect for each other. I think without that, then the world is truly going to fall apart. This way, I think, though, with an effort to really help sort of combat and neutralize that level of violence, we will assure a bright and positive future. So with that, I would ask for your aye vote.
Thank you, Senator Jackson. The bill has been moved. Let's call the roll.
This is item number 12, SB 1435. The motion is due pass as amended to appropriations. Liu?
Aye.
Liu, aye. Block? Aye. Block, aye. Hancock? Huff? Huff, aye. Leyva? Leyva, aye. Mendoza? Aye. Mendoza, aye. Monning? Aye. Monning, aye. Pan? Aye. Pan, aye. Vidak? Aye. Vidak, aye. That's 8-0.
8-0. We'll leave the roll open for our absent.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members.
Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion for the consent calendar. Thank you. We have 5 items on the consent. Item 6 is due pass as amended. All the others are due pass.